This is Monday Ben here. I'm going to start this thoughts video with the phrase, what are your thoughts on love? B and Ben. Hello everyone. I have to say that my thoughts on love, my favorite thoughts on love, is from a sermon from the lovely Sarah Walker. And I would like to say that I had also had this thought before this particular sermon. It is my favorite sentiment, and that is that love is like a quark. And let's just go through the various quark puns first. Has its ups and downs. Sometimes there's a top, sometimes there's a bottom. It can be a little bit strange, and it involves charm. Alright, got those out of the way. But to me, much more than that, is that love is so confusing, and we're still trying to figure out exactly what love is, and sometimes it can feel like it is in two places at once, and sometimes it can feel that like love doesn't exist at all, and sometimes we have no idea where it's going, and other times we know exactly where it's going, but not where we are right now. And so that is my favorite comparison as to what love is. To me, it's basically saying that love is everything and nothing at the same time, which is how it feels often. So, the obvious next question is, Tuesday Ben, what are your thoughts on quarks? I will now try to express my feelings through a series of explosions. Those are most of my thoughts on quarks. I mean, that's all there is to be said about quarks, really. They're just mind-bendingly amazing. And the fact that, like, there are so many theories to explain the equations for quantum mechanics, but nobody knows which one is true. It's so awesome. So I didn't expect it, but Wednesday, Ben, what are your thoughts on explosions? What was it today? Explosions? Explosions. The thing about explosions is that, like, we're afraid of explosions, but at the same time, like, we are so impressed by explosions. We're enticed by explosions as well, in a really weird and fascinating way. You know? Like in action movies, with a big ball of fire, and it's just drawn to it. You're just like, yeah, action, ball of fire. Or in science, we're like, oh man, it's bubbling, it's exploding. The more like things that happen, it's like, oh, we're fascinated by it. Maybe it's just our curiosity about, like, what happened, what made fire happen. Oh, and our, like, innate, like, yeah, like, wanting, you know, to cook food and fire and, like, be warm. Maybe that's it? I don't know. Thursday Ben, what are your thoughts on science? I love science. I think that the knowledge that we get from science is, by definition, invaluable, meaning valuable. But I've always had more of a love of, like, expressing things than I have of discovering them. I think I'm just a very trusting person. And so, for the most part, if I hear something from a credible source, I will trust it. It's very difficult to explain. I like discovering how to express new things. I don't know. I love science and what science does. But I've never been, like, the one who's like, I want to figure out why there are so many worms in this dirt. Or I want to figure out the mating habits of insert animal here. When I hear that stuff, I find it fascinating and I'll tend to remember it. But, like, I won't go out of my way to find it. I do that for mathy things. I don't know what the difference between the two is for me. I'll have to think about that. It's Friday, Ben. What are your thoughts on discovery? Discovery sort of feels like it's the counterpart to invention. If we're thinking along the same vein of creative endeavors, you can kind of either discover it or invent it. Or create it. I guess it's part of a trilogy. We discover gravity. Do we discover math? I think we do. People might think that you invent math, but I think we discover math. We invent computers. We create plays. We create stories. Yeah, so discover, invent, and create are sort of like the three things that humanity does, in my opinion, very well. And those three things sort of remind me of copyright laws. the difference between registered trademark, copyright, and patents. If I were to go on another day, which I am not, but if someone else wants to, I will ask you folks sitting by some sort of device that can connect to the internet and watch this video, I will ask you, what are your thoughts on copyright? Put your thoughts down in the comments. We got from love to copyright, which is an interesting series of connections. Feel free to leave suggestions down in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. For those who've never seen, I'm excited to meet you. For those that I have, till the next time I greet you, sweet dreams! I love you. Goodbye.